What's up? It is 4/20, 2023, and time to do, you know what, on 4/20? No. How about we don't do that this 4/20? Alright, and I probably just lost a bunch of my viewers because I said that. It's fine, do whatever you gotta do, just don't hurt anybody, right? I guess including yourself, but it's a free country, so, exercise your freedom in your free manner, I guess. Anyway, 4/20 message aside, today I was going to talk a little bit about, more AI stuff, more random stuff that's coming to my head. Wanted to talk about my exercise routine a little, because today I watched a podcast episode that came out recently. I've been doing a lot of random podcasts, and this Tom Bilyeu, I guess he's like around 47 or something, and he has a podcast on, it looks like just about everything, even though like his main goal is where he talks about growing his business, his $1 billion business, or he's grown a $1 billion business, though I'm not sure about all the details of his business that he's grown. I have to watch him a little more, but most of it seems to be like life coaching kind of stuff. I guess he's been around for a while. And he's also watched, he also apparently absorbed a bunch of anime. I got this from one of his other interviews. He said something interesting, that at the age of 40 he decided to get super obsessed and super into anime. I'm sure he has a video that details all of that, but I guess he had never really gotten into anime before. He decided to get super into anime, and because that was the medium that kids were watching these days, and that's how you get to the kids. I mean, they've been doing that for a long time, but it's just been increasing and increasing and increasing. People relate to anime more. I honestly kind of had my fill of anime, though I do enjoy really good and well-done anime still. It seems to me at this point, like, the thing that drew me to it, there's other things besides the stories of, many of them are interesting, and people would often ask, oh, what anime do you watch, right? I mean, I imagine in 20 years, kids from today will be reminiscing about the anime they watched way back when. Generational conversations are quite interesting. Anyway, yes, this guy was talking about how he absorbed all this anime in his early days, and or in his 40s, which is kind of late, actually, interestingly enough, to absorb anime to the extent where he supposedly did. So he got super into it, and he said he learned everything he could, and then he just stopped being as interested in it. He learned everything that he needed to learn from it. I guess the patterns, the lighting, the graphics, the design elements, everything that was important. Even the logo on his podcast has this kind of anime look to it, though. Again, I have to go back to look at his podcasts even more, and that's fine, because he's pretty interesting. I like Lex Friedman's podcasts a lot, but one other thing about Lex Friedman that I found interesting recently was his lectures on artificial intelligence, deep learning, reinforcement learning, deep belief networks, things like that, from years ago, 4 years ago actually, and he's doing lectures from when I guess he's at MIT, and I think I was listening to these on the road while I was kind of in motion, and that's not the best place to learn stuff while you're in transit, unless you have a stable transit environment. If you can write notes while you're watching television, or we're watching YouTube, watching a podcast, or watching a lecture on YouTube, then that, I think, you'll be good, and you'll be able to effectively learn this stuff. I actually the other day coded while I was on the bus. That was fun, but something I couldn't avoid doing. But let's get back to it. This Tom Bilyeu, Lex Friedman, is good, but sometimes his podcasts are great. Like I enjoyed his podcast recently with Shannon Curry a lot. I'm talking about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, and various interesting psychological diagnoses of people, the MBTI test, things like that. That was an interesting podcast, super interesting. But again, sometimes they get like very spacey. Like whenever he talks to Max Tegmark, right? Those get a little bit in depth, and those are good. I love physics stuff, but then his physics interviews also get a little bit. What's the best way to put them? Some of them can get a little bit like into the airy-fairy zone, which is fine. I mean, a lot of them is to draw people into physics, and a lot of physicists these days. Let me get my.
Hi, can I help you?
Yeah, can I have a small ice mocha latte, please?
Yeah,
Thank you. They have something called a turtle ice signature. I'm gonna check that out next time. But yes, so this Bliliu guy seems to substitute a bit. I haven't seen him really talk to physicists yet, but the thing is, I feel like he might be a good balance between Lex Friedman and Joe Rogan. Though maybe he's even interviewed or been interviewed by Lex Friedman before, whatever. But he's been doing a lot of ones on AI recently with people who are in the AI space, and I don't know. There's a lot of doomerism going on around AI, right? Like AI is the next big nuclear weapon. This Elazar Kodowski, I forgot how to pronounce his name, has been in a lot of podcasts recently. One that I was watching today, where he was talking about proliferation of AI. I wasn't paying attention to it too closely because then I had switched over to the news. Hey, how's it going? Thank you. Yeah, get that late night thing going. I know it's not even for me, but thank you. I know that's not good for me, but hey, whatever. No, I'm not using the only live once thing. I do exercise. I run every day. In fact, I'm gonna get back to that because I did want to talk about that because that's the whole reason I got onto this whole Tom Bliliu thing. I will say that like his podcasts are like super interesting, and one of them he was interviewing a health guru today. Well, and not only a health guru. A health guru has like a negative connotation, but kind of like an exercise, physical fitness, motivational life coach. One of those people, who trains people to be successful, things like that. And he's interviewing this guy today, and the guy was like, 99% of the people he's coached. He didn't say 99. Sorry, he said the vast majority of the people he's coached have essentially failed. And a lot of that is because a lot of people, which I realized in my past with running is something I do like 6 out of 7 days a week, and that 7th day, I do elliptical exercise. And I do it for each of these things for about 55 minutes a day. So I am maintaining my health pretty significantly, and I don't run very easily. I don't run very hard either. I run moderately, so I keep my fitness up. You have to challenge yourself to some level, right? And I've been doing that for a while. And actually, last year I tried recording on Instagram every day that I was running, and I was posting on Twitter every day that I was running, and I did that for a little, but then I kind of got bored of it because there's a lot of I don't know. It just didn't feel like, not only, even if I didn't get much engagement with those posts. I got barely any. But it wasn't the point. The point was to have some kind of global record of my effort in because like, other than the fact that it's time spent. You want to have your time spent being accounted for in some manner, right? But the point is that the running, like, I don't think documenting that in that way was good, but I did feel like it was something was missing about the element of my running. But I've come to terms with that, like, I don't need to document it constantly, especially if it's going to be a constant part of my life for the rest of my life, natural or otherwise. I say otherwise because, we might all transcend in a few years, who knows. Anyway, right, so where was I? Yeah, so, like, there was other tidbits of useful information in listening to this coach, who was talking about William Talk, and he was like, besides, like, people burning out, like, they get really into exercising, they get very hyped about it, and then they do it, and they say they feel amazing about it, and then there they go. I think after a few times they get burned out and they stop, which is common with people because, and I would say it's with the exception of running, it's common with me and other exercises, because part of it is I haven't circumvented, or I haven't superseded the limited friction needed to allow myself to feel like it's natural. Like, this is the really important thing he said. He said you're supposed to be unconsciously consistent. Like, you need to start with conscious consistency. And then at some point in your life, you have to get to unconscious consistency. Like, life would be impossible if we had to all think about when we were breathing. When every step we take, we have to think about the locomotion of our leg. We're in very depth. And it's not like we ever have to do that, but that is unconscious action. And we can make our habits unconscious action. Like, my morning routine is tantamount to unconscious action now, right? My daily running, in a sense, is tantamount to unconscious action. Like, I feel like I have to do it at this point. I've done it so many days. It's such consistency that it's like, it's just a natural part of my life. It brings me so many benefits besides exercise. It brings, like, the thing that I do while I'm running on the treadmill to watch my podcast and stay up to date and get new information and insights and ideas. Allows me to shower. I mean, the exercise itself is amazing for me overall. Helps to keep me physically fit. Like, the benefits are innumerable, especially since I've optimized my whole routine over the course of several years. And I managed to do it in a way that doesn't have much impact to my legs. I mean, I do from time to time get, like, stress, I'd say very minor stress injuries and things like that, but it's very rare, actually. And it doesn't last for super long. And right now I'm pretty good, and a lot of it has to do with my shoes. So as long as I have a good shoe hygiene, which is something I frankly neglected for a while, then I think I should be good with with the rest of my life just being able to run. And worst comes to worst, I can always go to elliptical unless I bust a knee. And then that's not a contingency I have much of a plan to handle right now, but I'm really hoping that is a rarity, because I don't plan to do anything that allows me to bust a knee. The one thing I was doing that I don't do anymore, and I'm kind of sad about it, but then I realized that I might not exactly have the time for it in my life, is that my daily guitar playing. I feel I have to get back into that, because that was something that I spent a lot of time doing, and I don't want to lose that. So I might go back to, like, my half an hour a day in the morning of guitaring. I was doing like 45 minutes successfully before. I should get back to it. I'm going to try it again this weekend. But it does take some time out of my day. But I got a lot of songs recorded, so technically I think it was time well spent. But if I figure, like, if I ever start doing that again, going back into my music as a daily habit, as one of my core routines, I feel I have to be purposeful about it. Like, and I need to like make sure that time, like I need to, even if it's a hobby, I need to make sure that ultimately the time goes, you know, into that being a productive time, that something that I can share. Like, I think a problem with my music as a core routine was it wasn't progressing anywhere significant for me fast enough. And I guess, sorry, I'm like chewing ice in my mouth. I also have to get a cavity filled soon, but I did get new glasses, so that's good. I'm getting my core things done. My skin is dry as heck, so that's not good. Anyway, I'm getting my core things done, and that's good. But I feel an incompleteness, that's a little bit of a hole that's left because I haven't been playing music. Maybe I'll try to fill that tomorrow, who knows. But whatever the case, habits are important, and exercise is important, and habits define you. I'm a key believer now in these days about like how habits define a person. And I mean, right, in many ways there are some of your actions and what you produce. And for me, my actions and what I produce are like, you know, like, I don't know, I mean, I get up, my morning routine is something that prepares me for the day and that leads me to being productive. That's important. My guitar routine would lead me to being creative. And I feel like I do want to make myself a bit famous from that, honestly. My exercise routine, an hour of running a day, makes me healthy, which is very important. It keeps me healthy, because without your health, you can't do anything else, and that health includes mental health, which my running definitely helps smooth out my mental health. So, now, talking, I know I'm kind of rambling on a little bit. I tend to do that when I don't have a structured thought process about what I want to talk about, but I'm going to try a different strategy for how I want to approach this podcast stuff in the future, because I was doing private journals. Now I'm trying to like really get familiar with the news cycle, talking about my habits, talking about general things in life, but I know I can't jump all over the place, right? And also when I talk about specific topics, you know, like I think I need to focus on a topic. I need to learn enough to put together a 20-minute rant, a daily rant about something. And can I do that? I know there's people who can do that, but they usually research a lot, and I don't have the time to research a ton. But I'm talking about AI. I mean, I feel like I'm very into that now. But I have to get into it more, and I'll do that. Maybe I'll do my 40 hours of anime learnings like Tom will, or I mean my year 40 anime learnings like Tom will you. And I will talk about that. I know I did like a review of my anime of the week, but I haven't done that for a while. Maybe I should do an anime of the week kind of thing again. I do enjoy it. I did enjoy doing that, but that was almost like a substitute for going out and doing other stuff. And also, I have other things I want to do. I was trying to write an article every week. That's a core weekly habit. So I've separated my habits into core daily habits and core weekly habits. And my core weekly habits have not really been coming to fruition because I've been spending time doing research. The core weekly habit time. So Something I should probably get better about doing this podcast is not chewing ice on my interviews. On my podcast. All right. Well, that's it for today. That's about 20 minutes and some change and some 420 going on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.